Um, Thought both teams. That was a really good college game. Thought Mike's team played really hard, really well. Really proud of our squad. Um, just kind of made the plays down the stretch that we haven't in some games previous. Jamin and Miles were terrific. Matt Morrell down the stretch on the line. Ty Fagan was great tonight, and I was really pleased. And so, at the end, we got up 3. We were going to foul up 3. I thought we executed that well, and then Matt made a big rebound off the free throw. So just a really good college game, much needed win for the Rebels.
Neil, I think that's you.
Hey, Kermit, you mentioned making the plays down the stretch. That's been something you guys have struggled with all season. What was different tonight?
I don't know. We went with our veteran guys down the stretch. I thought we executed really well. We did some set things for Jamin and some ISO stuff, and I thought he executed that well. And then it was just hustle plays. I mean, we've kind of gotten like the start of that second half, they drove it right at us, and then we started squaring them up a little bit better. I just thought like the 2 free throw rebounds by Robert Allen, 2 misses to get it back. Just those kind of hustle plays that you just have to make. Basketball plays they make on their own to win a good road game in a really good environment.
John, go ahead.
Hey, Kermit. What does kind of a win like tonight do for y'all momentum-wise, you think, for the next couple coming up?
Yeah, we talked about winning February, and we've had it's about the 7th SEC game kind of like this, that we could sit back and look and have 4 or 5 more wins, but we don't. But any of these wins are great. Now we're 1-1 in February. We go back home to South Carolina on Saturday, and you're just trying to, for the first time, to win some back-to-back games and get some momentum and get the feeling good. So, yeah, just a happy locker room right there for a much-needed win on the road.
Jared?
Kermit, with guard play, I guess for the majority of the game being as quiet as it was with, Burns and Brakefield getting a lot of stuff done, was it kind of fitting that Morrell was the guy who kind of got it done, coming off of an injury and doing what a veteran should do in that situation?
No doubt. He got, he was on 11. 11 got him about 3 times, and he really, he took a challenge. He rebounded some balls, great, made some unbelievable free throws down the stretch, and just did what, the good players are supposed to do. And what he did tonight was close that game out at the line. And so really, really proud for Matt.
Jake, go ahead.
Hey, Kermit, I know probably y'all been wanting this out of Miles all year. The kind of night he had tonight. Just what have you seen from him? And I guess what maybe did you see from him throughout the game tonight?
Yeah, just his energy was unbelievable. This week he shot the ball well in practice the couple of days. And so, even the ones he missed, I thought he looked really good. He just put his head down and unbelievable plays around the rim. He got himself to the free throw line. And, you get yourself to the free throw line 9 times, you're usually going to play well. He makes 7 of those. So his energy level was just kind of unmatched on the court tonight.
John?
You kind of talked about it a little bit there, but what did you think of Miles' dunk?
Yeah, I'm always on him. I say, Miles, you miss about half of them that you go, and but yeah, it was unbelievable. He does. He's got such spectacular energy when he dunks it. He tries to dunk it, 100 miles an hour. This is how he plays all the time. I think were you talking about the alley-oop or the one that he missed? You talking about the alley-oop? Yeah, that was spectacular.
The alley.
And to be running like that and make it, he's an unbelievable athlete in our league.
David?
Kermit, was this a big win for you just to get that streak snapped? I guess with maybe feeling the pressure ramping up a little bit just to get that done.
Yeah, can I tell you, David? I don't even know what the streak is. I promise you, I have no idea. I don't know what the streak is. I'm telling you, when I promise you, I don't know anything outside of my house and our locker room and our guys and our staff. I don't read one thing. I don't know anything. I just know our next opponent is. I'm going to do right by these guys and coach them hard every single day. And that's just what we're going to do. And I promise you, I'd like to tell you, please don't even remind me what it is. I don't know it, but whatever streak it is, I'm sure glad we broke it, David.
Jared?
Kermit, the way that Mike was, and Georgia was kind of switching up defenses there at the end. How you feel like? I don't remember if you've already answered this, but how you feel like your team really just handled those quick adjustments?
Yeah, good coaches like Mike do that. He made a good adjustment. We called timeout. He went to a 1-3-1, and we had a play called in man, and we called a timeout and then prepared for a man or a 1-3-1 play. And he even talked about if he could go 2-3 zone. Just good coaches. He did it, and he made us adjust. And I thought we adjusted and got a good shot out of it. But it was good. I think I love our freshmen. I think the veteran players on the floor with Ty, Matt, Miles, we could adjust a little bit more on the fly, as those freshmen are learning.
And lastly, I'll know for sure exactly who I saw on TV, but with James White being in street clothes, was that something that happened recently or?
Yeah, the last practice yesterday, for like the last 30 minutes of practice, he turned his ankle pretty bad. He's got some swelling. And obviously James, wanted to play coming back to Georgia, and but he couldn't. He tried today, but he couldn't. I think he'll be ready for South Carolina.
Any more questions for Coach?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, y'all. We'll be right back with